Hey guys, what's going on? It's CJ Investing here. Welcome back to my channel. And today, I just want to do a short video just talking about what dividend growth stocks, because y'all know I love dividend growth stocks. What dividend growth stocks are going to do the best in the medium to long term. So it may be some stocks that I own. It may be some stocks that I have on my watch list. But we're going to talk about it today. But so before I get into it, I need y'all to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And because I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of December of 2023. So if you want to help me do that and join the family, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I just want to start off by saying I love and I appreciate every one of y'all. Thanks for the support. And let's get right into the video. So starting off, this is a Ride with CJ series, where I just talk about things while I'm like on my way to work or the gym. In this instance, I'm on my way to work. I work for Nature Zone. I'm an independent distributor for Flowers Foods baking company. It's like a company, like a snacks food company that I drive the bread truck. And we sell things like bread, tasty cakes, honey buns, donuts, stuff like that. You probably sit in your local grocery store and bought stuff like that. But I've been doing it for a while, and I like it. It's kind of like a franchise type of thing, a franchise business type of thing where we're kind of independent. But if you didn't know by the shirt, you see the company logo and my name. But I don't want to make this video about that or me. Let's get into the stock talk. So starting off, I think one of the best sectors in terms of growth, in terms of returns going in the future, is going to be the technology sector and I guess the financial sector as well, to a certain extent, because I think companies like Qualcomm are going to do really, really well, and that's in the semiconductor sector, and it's kind of undervalued in my opinion. I think its 52-week low is like $101. It's at like, last time I checked, it's at like 113 or something like that. So not too far off. So I think it's reasonably valued. I own this one in my portfolio. It's actually my second smallest position. So I'm trying to really build that out. I'm waiting. I actually can be buying it right now. I might buy some. But the thing with me is I buy companies that are the lowest in my portfolio. So what I'm asking myself, what companies are the closest to their 52-week low, that or what companies are at a multi-year low in my portfolio that are worth an investment from me at this moment. So I look at that, I compare them to each other, and I just do it that way. And Qualcomm hasn't been as low as a company like CVS. I've been buying CVS a lot. That's probably my last purchase. As you know, if you watched this channel before, I buy a lot of CVS because I believe in that company. It's just so cheap. Like, I remember coming in the stock market back in February of 2020. CVS is probably like, what, 90 plus bucks or something like that. Y'all remember it if y'all been in the market for a little minute. CVS has been up there, and it's traded within like a range. But getting back to Qualcomm, that's one of the companies I believe that can double, potentially triple, and you can receive dividends along the way with this particular company, because I think it's some of its customers, or Apple, I believe, Apple, Samsung, companies like that. I don't have all of them on the top of my head, all of their customers, but those are some, I believe. And another company in that sector, I believe that's going to do well is Broadcom. Broadcom is actually the biggest company by market cap, by size in that sector. So it's one of the most dominant players, but as of recently, it's provided its investor base with a lot of returns. I believe it's kind of overvalued. I would personally choose probably Texas Instruments. You know, the company that makes the graphing calculators that we have to use in college and stuff like that. They require, yeah, they make semiconductors too. So they're a really great company. Guess where they're from? They're based out in Texas. So that's another company that I wanted to own, but it just trades within like a certain range. Like it never comes out of that range. It trades like a true dividend stock. You know that it gets to this certain price and then it evens out, then it goes down low, and then it evens back up. So it kind of stays within a certain range, if you know what I'm saying. And you want it cheaper, but it's ever since I've been in the market, it hasn't really been cheap like that. So I chose Qualcomm. I thought that's one of the best investments because it's undervalued. I believe so. And that's one of the companies that are going to be built for a lot of returns in the future, 5-10 years from now. And because people need semiconductors, we're growing into a more world dependent on technology, semiconductors, chips, you know, things like that. So I believe it'll be really beneficial. So some more companies I believe they're going to benefit is a company in the financial sector, or companies like Visa and MasterCard. I kind of group those two companies together because they're very similar. Although I'm a little bit biased because I own a lot of Visa cards, so you already know my choice. But that's not the only reason. I looked at their financials. I think Visa is slightly better. It was slightly cheaper at the time of my purchase. My cost basis, I own this one of my dividend Roth IRA portfolio. My cost basis on it is probably one of the best in my portfolio at like $195 per share, and I'm pretty proud of that. I need to get my position a little bit bigger because I haven't bought any Visa shares since like 2022. Sometime in 2022. So it's been quite a while, as we're in July of 2023 as I'm recording this video. But I really love that company. I think MasterCard is dope too. I have it on my watch list, but it's just expensive. Yeah, Visa, I think it's gonna have great returns over the long run. People are using more and more credit cards. And they're running them balances all the way up. They're getting credit increases to incentivize them to buy more or spend more or use them more. And that in turn creates a false sentiment where they think they could spend more because they're using less of their overall balance on the credit card. Because when you get a credit increase, automatically you're using less because the balance increases, the overall amount increases on the credit card. So it's just, the spending is getting more and more out of control in terms of the credit card space. Another thing with the credit card space is they have some of the highest profit margins out of all the sectors. Like they pay basically nothing in expenses. Like you could go up to their website and check this out. It's pretty amazing actually. They have higher margins than like companies like Apple and Microsoft and Google, which those in turn have crazy margins. But I think the last time I checked, the margin was like 40 or 50 20%, maybe even higher. But the downside to these companies is they have a very small yield, so they don't pay a hefty dividend. But I take that any day. Dividend growth. They have some crazy dividend growth though. Year over year, it's at least double digits. Every single time you get double digit growth year over year, and consistently. That's a great thing too. So got a very small yield, but in turn, you get dividend growth and you get returns as far as the share appreciation. And Visa has very little debt on their balance sheet, which that's something that I look for, and very ROIC, high ROIC. Try to say that 5 times fast. So ROIC is a big thing. That's a return on invested capital, if y'all didn't know. But it's a great thing to look for when investing in a company, because it shows you the historical returns within that company, within that stock. Visa, MasterCard, as well as PayPal. The thing about PayPal is that it doesn't pay a dividend, but you're going to be receiving big returns in that company, because I'm sure the share buybacks for that company are pretty crazy. Usually when a company doesn't pay a dividend, they usually make up for it with share buybacks. That's because they feel that their company is more in a growth cycle. When a company pays a dividend, that means they're in a cycle of their life where they feel that they're not growing anymore and they have extra cash, which is coming out their free cash flow, which is why you got to look at this statement of free cash flow or cash flows to determine if they're making enough cash flow to be paying out a dividend, doing share buybacks, paying off debt, things like that. You want increased cash flow, which Visa, MasterCard, companies like Qualcomm, all these companies have that I've mentioned. So those are some other companies that you can add to your watch list, but do your due diligence before buying, because this is not investment advice. This is just my own opinion. I'm just sharing to you my thoughts and what I'm doing, and you don't have to follow me. Follow what I'm doing. I just wanted to share with y'all. So another company, I already mentioned it. It's Microsoft. It's also a tech company. So these companies are going to benefit greatly. Y'all all know Microsoft. But you all know Microsoft. It's a pretty high margin business. I think, despite it being a like $2 trillion company in market cap as far as its size, I think it's still gonna grow a lot. It's just such a diverse business, such a must-own company if you're a dividend growth investor. I think this one should be a part of your portfolio at the right price, might I add, because I don't own this one on my Roth IRA, but I plan to. Right now it's a little too expensive, and I know y'all, some of y'all are just gonna buy it at any price, Microsoft and Apple at any price, and that could be justified by your own opinion or belief. But for me, I think it's better it's better to have your set price. Like for Microsoft, I prefer it maybe under 250. I know that's a little bit of stretch because it trades at like 320 or 330 right now, and it's way up there. But just like things go up, they could come down. And I just want the best possible returns out of a company, no matter which company it is. Trust me, it could fall. So swings in the stock market happen all the time. Y'all gotta understand. And any company could come down to your price range. It's possible. So I believe strongly that you should have a set price range for every stock, because every stock isn't worth investing into. Even if it's a great company, it isn't worth investing into if it's overvalued, if it's too expensive. So you should always do your research and kind of see where historically it's been trading at. It's price to earnings ratio. It's price to sales ratio. And just determine that buy price. Is it trading where it was a few years ago? If so, it might be worth an investment. Presented that you did all the other research on it. Everything else lines up. Very little debt. Decreasing the share count, that's another thing. They have to decrease the shares that they have on the market. They decrease the amount of shares that they have on the market, so that it increases your investment, not decreases your investment. Because a lot of companies, they dilute their shareholders, and you don't know about it because you don't do the research, and you're just doing yourself a disservice because it's decreasing your investment in the company when they dilute you like that. When they issue out more shares or they push more shares out into the market, which increases the overall shares, they're doing you a disservice, and you doing you a disservice because you're not looking at these type of things. So it's very important. It's very important to look at all aspects of it. Look at the balance sheet and stuff like that. So Microsoft, another company. Apple is, I believe, the biggest company in the stock market by market cap. And I personally wouldn't invest in Apple because I don't think it's much growth left for Apple because of the cycle that it is in. I believe there was growth left in the past. I believe you can still get moderate returns out of Apple, but I don't think it would be anything super crazy. Unless they announced a big stock split, which they have done before. The stock went crazy. Everybody was buying it, including myself at the time. But I learned that you can't just buy it based off of hype, based off of what other people are doing. Because a lot of times, if you're doing things based off of what other people are doing, it's gonna be the wrong decision. It's not the best thing for you, because you got to make decisions based off of what you believe and what you've seen and what you think is gonna do well in the long term. And long-term investing is better than short-term trading. So yeah, Microsoft, which I know a lot of y'all own if y'all dividend investors, dividend growth investors. The downside to it, it's a very small yield. It's bigger than Visa and MasterCard, but it's still like 1% yield. So you're getting something, but not very much. But like I keep saying, I trade that any day over like a super high 7-8% yield, something that's unsustainable. And they're increasing the dividend. So you can't ask for too much else from these type of companies. They're giving you the bang for your buck, and that's what you want. So that's another company I think is going to do well, as well as Lockheed Martin. The ticker symbol LMT. It's in the military defense sector. You know, it has contracts with the United States government. They're super reliant on Lockheed Martin. And I think one of their bases is in Georgia. Yeah, like North Georgia. One of their bases is over there. So it's a pretty unique company to say. They have a variety of products, jets, all types of stuff, all types of military technology. It's a great company to look into because I think they're partnered with NASA as far as like space exploration and providing them with equipment as well. It's something you could look further into. I won't be able to tell you their wide variety of products, but just know that they make a lot of products for the military. So, but they're a great company. They pay a huge dividend. I think they're really expensive right now. But if you wait, I would buy them. They would have to come down maybe like $100 or so from its current price for me to be interested in buying it again, because it's just been, you know, every other day Lockheed Martin was running up like 0.5% to 1%. I'm like, does this company ever stop going up? Like, I used to own it like a couple years ago, and of course I traded out of it because I didn't have that long-term mindset mentality. I had what they call paper hands. I was selling in and out of stocks, and I regret it. I regret selling out of Lockheed Martin, but I believe it will go down, and I believe you can make massive returns with this company. So guys, I think I'm gonna end it there. I appreciate y'all for watching. I appreciate, love y'all. Thanks for always tuning in. I hope I was able to provide you with some value through my thoughts, through my opinions. Understand this is not investment advice. I'm just an average stock market investor, just sharing my thoughts and experiences. But I appreciate every one of y'all. I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all day, and keep investing, keep getting those dividends, because it adds up in the long run. All right, I love y'all. Peace.